Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and today we are going to make notepads, but not ordinary notepads. I'm talking money notepads. Here is one that I've made for Addison, and in just a minute we're going to make an identical one for Quincy. And look at inside, you can see several $1 bills. There's even, if you go far enough, there's a couple of fives in the back. If you're going to give money as a gift, it could be for Christmas, it might be for a birthday, could be for graduation. It really makes it more personal if you get the actual money and you turn it into a notepad, and it is surprisingly simple. And then it really becomes personal when you decorate the top piece, the cover of the notepad, so that it reflects the interests of the person to which you're giving the gift. So you want to start with, obviously, the money. So I just went to the Teachers Credit Union, and they were able to give me 20 $1 bills, but fresh, clean ones. If you can't find fresh, clean ones, you can iron them. You just put a dish towel or something over the top to protect it and then iron, and you can make almost any pad flat. And then, like I said, I have a few fives in the end. I do think it looks best if they all face the same direction. And what you want to do is create a front, a top, and a bottom. So the top needs to be whatever color you want for the cover to be. In my case, my top is going to be red, and it's the same dimension as the money. And poster board, which is nice thick, is going to be like the base of the money pad, so it's going to sit behind. Before we actually pad it, it's much easier to decorate the cover before you stick it all together. So I'm going to stop for a minute, and if you have a lot of these to make, you can do a very simple design like I did that goes together really quickly. So what I want to do is put in Christmas colors. I'm going to add pattern paper to one strip. And I'll go ahead, line up the edge and one end. And then all I need to do is trim off the excess. And then I'm going to add another strip. When I have really beautiful but expensive paper, I tend to use it as just small embellishments, tiny little areas where you don't need a lot, but it really adds that real beautiful, elegant touch to this project, I think. So here I'm going to add the piece right next to that stripe, the green, the two tones of green stripes. Oops. I'm going to fasten this down, and once again I'm going to trim off the excess. So at this point I'm ready to go ahead and add this star. I'm going to place adhesive. My star was too large to fit, but I like it when, as long as there's enough of the design that you can tell what it is, to go off the edge. It's just one of the things that I like. It looks very bold and graphic. So I'm going to place adhesive. You'd probably put more adhesive than I am, but I want to just show enough so you can see how to build this. So I'm going to go ahead and position this so that I like, how it looks onto what will be the cover. And once again, I'm going to trim off the excess, trying to make it look as much like Addison's so that Quincy and Addison's looks the same. They are, at this point, they are 8 and 10. And I don't want arguments over who has the better one. So they're going to look pretty close to the same. And now I'm ready to go ahead, and I'm going to just take a white pen and I'll use that to add my message, in this case to Addison and then me. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one, but it will be to Quincy. So let me just stop and put the information. Sometimes we call her Little Miss Q. Quincy. They call me Aunt Sam. So you add that information, the who it's to and from, and now you're ready to do the padding. So believe it or not, it's very simple to do. Here's the back, here are the bills, here is the front, and you want them really to be stacked together where they all line up perfectly. So once you've sort of tamped them together, I just take binder clips, and I'm going to use these to hold everything really tightly together. And that way it's a nice perfect notepad. So I have these on the ends, and all I'm going to do now is I'm going to just take a paintbrush and I'll use this to paint padding compound on. Here's padding compound. You can get it easily online. You can sometimes still, if you happen to know where there's a stationery store any longer or art stores, they often carry it. Printers usually carry it as well. And it will last you really forever. So what I've done, I've taken and I've shared it with my friends, so we all have some. So just get jars and you can put it in a jar as long as you can close and seal the jar up. And all you need to do, it looks just like white glue and it dries clear like white glue, but it's flexible. So when white glue dries, it tends to be a little brittle. You want this flexible so it can open and close like a notepad and it won't come loose. So I'm going to just take and I'm going to paint it on the end. Hopefully when I can see it, you can also see it. Go down here as well. I actually do 2 or 3 coats. It dries fairly quickly, and you don't need to worry about gooping it on the ends because, like I said, it's just like white glue. So I can go back with my finger. See how there's, I don't know if you can really see, but there's a tiny little bit overlapping. All I need to do, I'm going to have to move the binder clip just a little bit so I can get my finger in there. All I have to do is just go right over the top of that, and it just disappears. It's all going to dry clear. I'm going to let this dry. This, if you do it now while it's still wet, you can wash it out with just plain hot water. And in like an hour or 2, I'm going to add another coat. Sometimes I even add a 3rd coat, just until it seems like it's nice and thick. And there is all it takes to make a money pad. Now, as long as you've got padding compound, like I said, it's going to last you a really long time. So I thought I would share with you some more uses for that. If you have access to die cuts, if you don't have your own die cuts, you probably, if you have kids in school, the school where I worked, the district where I worked, the parents could come in and use the die cutting machine if you brought your own paper. So if you find out when they're not busy, then in all likelihood, they'll let you use their die cutter. Here you can see a Christmas tree, and we're going to see how to make this. In addition, I thought I would show even an alphabet letter. This would be great as a monogram. So if you have a child named John or Joanna, I mean, how cool would be a notepad out of their initial? Here is the snowflake. Once again, and notice that instead of putting the padding compound here, it's not very easy to pull the layers off if you're trying to pull around a curved surface. So what I did was picked a flat section. This is where this notepad will come apart. Is I've done a little section here, and those are the 2 places where this notepad will pull free. On the tree that we're going to make, this one is already padded, and I chose to put the padding compound at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is peel it this way. In order to make a decorative one, once again, you want the base, and this time for poster board, I just took the back of a notepad and cut it into the same tree shape, cut a stack of construction paper or copy paper that are green. I have a white one that's going to be the top. If you want red to show through, the next layer could be red. I'll show you how that's going to look. And then I've cut out of brown just a little piece so that I've gone ahead and I've used it to decorate this one. So you can see I've gone ahead and made it look more like a tree trunk. So once you have this decorated, then take, and I'm using 2 size hole punches. I'm going to use an 1/8 inch and a 1/16 inch, and it's just random. It's not meant this. If you have kids who like to craft with you, they will love doing the punches. And there's really no such thing. You don't need to worry about too much, not enough. However much they want to do is going to work fine. The one that I'm doing now is the 1/16 inch punch, and I would want to get in fact, I think as I get closer, it looks to me like it would look good for there to be something more in the middle here. So once you have a pattern of punches that you like, then you're going to place it on the stack. Now, as I said, if you want green to show through for the green tree, that's fine. If you want it to look more like red balls on the tree, then you could put a layer of red in there. And then all you need to do is, once again, stack all the layers together with the fat one on the bottom, and make sure when they're die cut, they're going to match up perfectly. So make sure that they're all stacked tightly together. You would go back with the binder clips and clamp right here and right here. And then you would take and pad here on the bottom. And that quickly and easily, you're going to have a really cool notepad. If you want to make it even more special, you can take washi tape and roll the washi tape right over any of your pencils, and your notepad can have a personalized pencil to go with it. You know, if you're planning to give money as a gift for Christmas or even for a birthday or graduation, you can make it a lot more personal by turning a stack of bills into a notepad.